What's up, creative writing class? I'm going to give you an assignment today, but don't worry, I don't want to give you guys busy work or anything that's painful or annoying. I assume that, just like me, you guys are reading and thinking and communicating, and poetry is just a way to do that in a more organized method. You take what you write down, and then the next day you improve it, and the next day you improve it, and by the end you should have something that's, first of all, what you actually wanted to say, and second of all, it's pretty, it sounds good, it has rhythm. So if you participate in these, you're going to hopefully get something out of it, not only points in the class, but you can think and organize your own mind and give it some expression. Last quarter we did one poem, and I gave you one trick. It was about the ends of lines. One thing that makes poetry special is you don't just run out of space, you hit enter at the right moment. And you should have some kind of word at the end that is A, important for the meaning, and B, important for the sound. So it's not just of or and or whatever happens to be there, but it's something meaningful. I'm going to give you another trick today, and we're going to read one poem and start from there. So the poem is called Rattlesnake, and I'll attach it in a Google Doc. I think it's really wonderful. I think I have it memorized. Let's see. I found him sleepy in the heat and dust of a gopher burrow, coiled in loose folds upon silence in a pit of the noonday hillside. I saw the wedged bulge of the head hard as a fist. I remembered his delicate ways, the mouth, a cat's mouth, yawning. I crushed him deep in dust and heard the loud seethe of life and the dead beads of the tail fade as wind fades from the wild grain of the hill. And that's it. It's a short poem. I think I said it right. You can learn a lot from this one. I think it's really great. For example, you could say, well, why did he kill the rattlesnake? It never says why. That's one thing that makes poems special. They don't say why. But the lesson I want to focus on is very simple. It's about the length of words. Okay, in English, we use a lot of one-syllable words, no matter what. But whenever we go higher than that, it feels different. Whenever you have two-syllable word, or especially 3, 4, 5, and it never really gets much higher than that, it feels a lot different. So, for example, in this poem, the second stanza is 100% one-syllable word because it's action. It's hard, crunchy, physical, dry, action. Okay, crush, dust. It's all about things happening and things happening quickly. In the first stanza of this poem, you got some 2 syllables, some 3. It never goes higher than that. But you usually don't if you're not doing like science, if you're not writing an academic paper on things. It still feels, in that first stanza, when you got your 2 and 3 syllables, it feels slower and more thoughtful and more dreamy and smooth. It's not action. In fact, there's no action. It's just a guy staring at a snake, and neither one of them moves until the second stanza. So that's it. That's the tip. I can go into a lot of detail about where these came from and what it all means. To keep it short, I'm going to say that most of the one-syllable words are Old English. They're from the Germanic side of our family tree, and they're sort of lower class, used for workers and farmers and things like that, at least in our history. Whereas the 2 and 3 and longer syllable words, they come from French and Latin and Greek, and in England, 800 years ago, that was the ruling class, that was the rich people, that was the people who you'd meet in church and the court, and who would order your food and things like that. And they're associated with fanciness and academic sounding stuff. So that's your first tip for your poem, which we're going to start writing. You think about the word length. If it's something physical and hard and crunchy and dry, you go with one syllable words. If it's something thoughtful and dreamy and you're in the world of ideas, you go with longer words. There you go.